Hey, this is IndigoMusicdotcom. I'm Rohit, and joining me is a very special guest. I'll tell you about her. But before that, I want to talk to you about a book that celebrates Bangalore and its people. It's called Bangalorean, and it's not just a book, it's a love letter to the city that we call home. And like I mentioned earlier, joining us today, right now, is one of the co authors behind Bangalorean, Kaveri Sinhji, a social anthropologist and the curator of this extraordinary project. Kaveri, welcome to IndigoMusic.com.
Thank you, Rohit. So nice of you to have me.
Kaveri, this book is amazing. So take us back to where it all began and what inspired you to create this project.
Yeah, I'm holding it up in case
Yes.
there's a video and you can actually see it. But thank you for your compliment on the book. It's just come out, so it's really like a new baby in my arms.
Okay.
The project started in my head, like I can't even pinpoint exactly when. There are many points when I knew that this was going to definitely be a reality at some time. But I think the inspiration really lay in my love for people and my deep desire for us to connect better with each other.
Hmm.
So I'm an Air Force kid,
Yeah.
and I always saw the ranks on shoulders, which divided people. But in the Air Force, it was always very obvious, the ranks, and you could kind of tell the hierarchy and the entire social tapestry was kind of dished out to us. But when we came into civilian life after my father's retirement, I saw that there is a code, there are hierarchies, there is a tapestry, but it's really hard to decipher. But we still have gaps between us. We still don't connect with the people that we even depend on,
Hmm.
like, somebody who washes our clothes, the milkman, the technologist who is responsible for our IT or our telephone. I mean, there's so many layers to how much to connecting, and somehow we don't take the effort to do that. So I think that's where the idea was born, like when I was 19 or something. But it really started to materialize when I started working with the topic and asking the question through my work of cross culture and as an anthropologist that how can you better connect with each other? How can you make better use of the diversity in, say, your workforce as a technology company? You have people from all over India, all kinds of backgrounds who don't behave in the same way. So I think that's where it kind of started, on a slide and then it went into a book.
And how did you take this personal inspiration and make it into a book?
I think what happened really was that I started to work with it. My company, One World, we actually dealt with exactly this topic that you have a diverse workforce.
Okay.
How do you connect people to each other, to respect each other, regardless of what their background might be?
Hmm.
Acknowledge, respect, and love each other as colleagues. So I started presenting personas to my client, which was a Danish company. And when I saw how much it helped them to get a reflection of their workforce and then understand the different cultures, all the way from the way we greet each other to the way we thank each other to the way we operate or, plan things. When I saw how much it helped them, I wanted to make it a bigger project. So it went from 30 people slideshow. It just expanded until it became now we have 80 people in this book. It's a 370 plus page book. But I think it evolved, and this was 2013 is when I made that presentation. So it's an 11-year journey, I would say.
What was the criteria for someone to be, like you said, 80 people are now contributed or they've given their stories in this book. What was the criteria that you personally chose from?
It started with just my own observations, and like I said, it started with a particular workforce where I walked into a cafeteria and I
Mm.
could clearly see, there are people from different societies and backgrounds and cultures who are sitting there. And I said, let me make these personas, what I see out there. And as an Indian, it's much easier to do than if you're from not from India. And I was doing this for a Danish client. So it kind of was, like putting it out there for them. And then when I actually started to expand the project beyond the first 10 people that were on that slide, then I started to look out to also include the ones that during our cultural experiences, where we actually took people out and you could actually be a washerman for a day, or you could be a milkman or a milkwoman for a day.
Mm.
Those were the kind of experiences we created and took people out on. So you could actually be somebody for a day that was very far from the life that you had.
Mm.
So I had to build relationships with, dhobis, cobblers, people who supplied milk in a locality. I would speak their language, connect with them, and I got to know them like none of my friends had ever got to know the people they depended on. So
Mm.
that was the first list of people into the book. It expanded into like potters and artists and art curators. And then we also got reflections of my own society, the people that I knew personally, either had been in college with me or my colleagues who I'd worked with, my ex bosses. I tried to get one person representing a different class of society or a different, a way of a walk of life, and put them all shoulder to shoulder in a way that they are all equal and all deserving of as much respect and recognition as somebody who is a high achiever like a Narayan Murthy or a Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, who's also featured in this book.
Right.
So, a very democratic platform to show the Bangalorean.
Absolutely. And my next question is a two-part question. One is, what can people get from, what can they take away from the book Bangalorean, and where can they, get their hands on the book?
Yeah, so I mean, before I directly answer that question, I just want to say that I did not write this book alone.
Yeah.
It started with me, but we had brought in professional authors, writers, who actually are really great storytellers. And we went in and met each person, understood their story, their struggles, their victories, and then put it out there. And to really illustrate every story, we got photographers
Hmm.
also. So there's Farah Gilani, Melissa Parkerton, Katya Anthony, and Chris Page.
Okay.
They came into the creative team. And then the creative director is Tanya Singh Khosla, who was actually interviewed by us as a subject in the book.
Hmm.
But she got so inspired by this project that she just joined us and said, I want to direct this project. So she became number six. It's a six people authored, very unique book in that way.
Right.
And where you can get the book is you can just look up bookbangalorean.com, or
Okay.
you can write to bookbangalorean@gmail.com. That's where it's available.
Fantastic. Now, before I let you go, I want to know one song that you want me to play out on air right here in the city of Bangalore. Tell me, which song would that be?
I would say We Are the World.
Uh,
It's a song
yeah.
also touches upon the diversity around us and the importance of us to connect with each other better, just like the book Bangalorean asks you to do.
Absolutely. We are the world from USA to Africa, and that's going to be playing out. Kaveri, thank you so much. All the best with your book, and hope to see you soon in our studios one day.
Thank you so much for having me, Rohit.
All
Have
right.
a musical day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.